み込んで泣かないことを誓ったまま時は過ぎ痛む心に気がつかずに僕は一人になった記憶の中でずっと二人は生きてゆける君の声が今も胸に響くよそれは愛がさまよう限り君は少し泣いたあの時見えなかった
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite the big heart.
Her position demanded nothing less.
Yeah,
Not only that,
It's as if walls meant nothing to her.
which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh?
You inherited that legacy.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
after everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
We're a long way from the residential quarter.
Yeah, you're right.
Except the Danon astral energy feels even stronger here.
In a portion of the city reserved purely for the Renan Sovereign.
Maybe he just has strange tastes?
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of taste spoken of in artistic circles.
Hold up, decadence? Artistic circles?
When a preference is indulged to its extreme,
That depends.
the void that art fills isn't the stomach.
In that case, I'll let you know the next time my soul starts to rumble.
Now all we need is something to fill up the void inside your head.
Shut up!
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in the machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Light ass raging cascade! In here! Going in! I'll be saving those nodes! Ow! Astral energy! Going in!
Demon Fang!
Healing circle! Look sharp!
Not today!
It's over!
Take this!
Take it!
Now you see what I can do! In a bind!
I'm only getting started!
Hurricane Storm!
Only getting started!
Take this! Move!
Move! Into the shadows!
This one's mine!
Void Flash!
This one's mine! Raging
Void
Cascade
Flash!
getting started!
Going
You're
in!
mine! I'm not done!
I'm only getting started!
No escape!
Hurricane Slice!
Eternal devastation!
Thunder Field!
Here goes!
Megasonic Thrust! Lightning Thrust!
Healing Circle!
Void
Thunder
Flash!
Field!
That'll bring you down!
Here I come!
This one's mine!
In here!
No further!
Here I come!
I'll be saving this one!
Ready and ready!
Let me show you what my heart can do!
Eat
Rise
this!
and shine!
Now you see what I can do!
You're mine! I'm not done! Castle!
Raging Cascade!
Soaring Light Spear!
Sleep now!
Denied!
Dragon
Saving
Swarm!
this one! Excited!
Hurricane Slice!
All
Lightning
disasters
Thrust!
made one!
The flaming sky is yours to be let free!
Hurricane!
You're
All
mine!
disasters made one!
Crush!
Look sharp!
No escape!
Fury! Let me
Double
show you
Demon
what my
Fang!
heart
Look
can
sharp!
do!
Crush!
Rise and shine!
Megasonic!
Now or never!
It's over!
In a bind!
This one's mine!
Just when
You're
it's over!
done!
Raging
Hurricane
Cascade!
I'm not done!
Havoc Thrust!
Void Flash!
Confiscated!
Strike! Void Flash!
Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
You picked the wrong fight!
Now you see what I can do!
Light
Here I
astral
come!
energy!
Yeah!
More with us!
Eternal Devastation!
Thanks so much!
I'm not
Here.
done!
Got you.
Dragon
I'll
Swarm!
be saving this
I
one!
owe you one.
More with us! Feel! This one's mine!
No escape!
Here!
No
Look
escape!
Stop! I'm going more with us!
Strike! Void Flash!
Here's another! Blaze on fire! Raging Cascade!
Eternal Devastation! Double Demon Fang!
More for the stop! Only getting started!
Leave the
Thunder
hardness to me!
Field!
Dragon Swarm!
More with
Sonic
us!
Thrust! Lightning Thrust!
In here!
Going in!
Denied!
I'll be
Here I
saving
come.
this one!
I'm not done! Burn in hell!
Light astral
Can't
energy!
get out of this!
Eternal Devastation!
heal you all.
Double Demon Fang!
Great
Shattering the
Their arcs
pieces!
were interrupted!
Attack time!
Not on my watch!
Now you see what I can do!
It's over! Here goes! I'll heal you
Be
all!
still.
Cascade!
Strike! Void Flash! Strike!
I'll be saving
Void
this one!
Flash!
Healing circle!
Double Demon Fang! I owe you one. Megasonic Thrust! The flaming sky is yours to be let free!
Healing circle! Where are you going?
You're mine! Be still! Void Flash!
Thunder Field!
Lightning Thrust!
Here's Raging Cascade!
Eternal
Healing
Devastation!
circle! More for the stockpile!
Inspiration Wave!
Thanks so much!
Here I go!
I'm only getting started!
Will this help?
Here goes!
Ready and rare!
Raging Cascade!
Denied!
I'm not done! Burn in hell!
Feel!
I can carve through armor!
Eternal Devastation!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
One more! I'll be saving this one!
Void Flash!
Here's a Raging Cascade!
Shield and
Healing circle! Not on my watch!
Going in!
Double Demon Fang!
Tiger Raging Cascade!
Dragon Swarm!
It's here!
It's time!
I'll be saving this one!
Take this!
Hurricane
In here!
This
Can't
one's
get out of
mine!
this!
I'll be saving
Eternal
this one!
Devastation!
In here!
Megasonic Thrust! Dragon Burn!
Light astral energy! All disasters made one!
Crush!
Lunar Arc! of purity!
I'll smash you!
There!
Eternal Devastation!
Look sharp! In here! Discharge!
Dragon Swarm! Dragon!
Raging Cascade!
Explosive Ring!
Sleep well! I can't heal you forever! This one!
Thanks.
Here I go! Astral energy getting
Far enough!
Raging
Here I come!
Make it rain!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! I'll heal you all!
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alvin!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf? Who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Voron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
A slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dana are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
It's too late! You can't stay here!
We
go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron...
We can but hope.
Those red women.
Could they be the ones behind all this?
What? Those brainless things?
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena.
They have the Renaissalma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a...
I didn't see that coming about Volron.
Tell me about it.
They definitely weren't Renan or Danan.
So what were they then?
Is the most terrifying thing...
How about you, Shion?
No, never.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance.
Both sound plausible to my ears.
Yeah, they did.
Inside me, you're
Burn in hell!
No gunslinger around here.
Here I come!
Come forth, that's your security!
All yours, Kisara!
Anything in armor is all mine!
How about this? Blue escape!
Time to shine!
Raging cascade! Not on my watch!
Havoc thrust!
Now you see what I can do!
The flame inside me!
The enemy wields arc too.
You'll soon see about that!
Now or never! Force blast! River!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Now!
I'm already getting started!
Ignite!
Piercing wall!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I feel sprightlier than before. I'll do my best!
Let the marksman handle
No
this!
further!
I never miss!
Blaze on fire!
These lips can run rings around us!
Strike! Void blast! Strike!
I'll be
Void
taking
blast!
this one! It's over!
Hurricane
Soaring light spear! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Here I come! This one's all mine!
I'm already getting started!
Pierce through!
Shield and face!
Double Demon Fang!
Piercing roar!
Megasonic
Havoc
Thrust!
I can carve through armor!
This one, make it rain!
Incineration Wave!
This one's mine! I'll heal you all!
You picked the wrong fight! Take this!
This one's mine!
Here goes! Not in your dreams!
Here I come!
All disasters
In a bind?
Come forth and heal us the
Double Demon
Now!
Fang!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Not
Let the
a chance!
marksman handle this!
Force blast! Strike!
Make it rain!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Now! This one's all mine!
One more!
Make it rain!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
My turn! Void blast!
This one's mine!
Strike! Luna Rongo! Strike!
You're mine!
Here I come!
Jubilee!
All yours, Kisara! A comfortable win.
An opponent like this should be easy.
This one's mine!
Ready to eat this!
I'll smash you!
Field! I think I'll pass on the hand mark!
Eternal devastation!
Take this! Look sharp!
One more! Raging
Try this.
cascade! I'm already getting started! Graviton field!
This one's
All
mine!
disasters
I
may
never
one!
miss! It's here! Get charged!
Purity!
Round and round!
Dazzle!
Maelstrom!
Going in!
Healing circle!
Tiger Blade!
Void blast!
Myself together!
Round and pound!
Void blast!
Shining
Strike!
supernova!
Here I come! Strike! It's on!
Healing circle!
Void blast!
Raging cascade!
Havoc thrust!
Burn in hell!
Not in your dreams!
Shattering the pieces!
Glacial attack!
Field!
Tiger Blade!
I'll be saving this one!
Void blast!
Hurricane strike!
Here I come! No escape! Dragon War!
Now you see what I can do!
Eternal devastation!
Hurricane strike!
Double demon!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Take it! You're
You
mine!
require a hand.
Void blast!
Take this!
Raging cascade! You're mine!
Ignite!
Field!
Hurricane strike!
Havoc
Havoc strike!
Rise and shine! Shining supernova!
I'm ready! Havoc strike!
No escape!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
We won.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Void Flash!
In here!
Strike!
Oh god!
You're mine!
Far enough!
I never miss!
Blue escape! It's over! Strike! Lunarongo!
Ready and ready!
You're mine!
Here goes! Raging Cascade!
Sonic Thrust!
I'm over
Easy
here!
ensnaring to me. Yeah, and pummeling to me.
You picked the wrong fight!
Do it! Hurricane
Take this!
Dazzle! Strike!
Sleep now!
Here I go!
Healing circle!
Eternal devastation!
Thanks, Xion.
Here I go!
Explosive ring! Crush! Incineration wave! Dazzle! Void Flash!
This one's mine! Flaming meteor!
Take this! Lightning Thrust!
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing. So she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd—
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright, or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnagain's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here. not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits. Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
In one sense, I was complicit in the Renan system, and when I realized the severity of my mistake, a lord.
I think I can relate. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. Zephyr taught me how to fight.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. Or, to put it another way, this Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man and...
There's just...
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me.
Why ask me now? But Yes, I have.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud. Well then, just...
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, but now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. It probably sounds weird, doesn't...
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right.
A pretty big child.
All this has made me realize, if Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too.
Thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The answers have to be there.
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive.
It's also entirely possible that...
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile.
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the...
No, I'm the one who should apologize.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask.
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness?
It's fine.
But...
I appreciate until I get rid of these thorns. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug.
What the? Are you...
Oh, come on.
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous...
Oh.
Staying alert is important.
I still can't get over what we saw happen.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana. Still, though...
Beats me.
Rena and Dana. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest.
Dohalim.
Okay. Who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena.
That's what it looked like.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all.
Try to stay calm. What is it?
No, it's just so much for me making...
You made it this far, didn't you? You noticed something?
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled. By the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right?
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long.
At the very least. That being said,
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
there is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans?
Now that you mention it...
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Let's find out. Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrect 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, dude?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to around here. Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes.
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy. With a second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy, so...
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the Crown Contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, It would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevric 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage.
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes. And yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time.
Have you guys lived up here in Daeg Fazel with Hevric 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevric 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary... I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans...
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deception.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevric 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship...
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of—
Thank you for answering. Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species?
Well, for starters...
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't, but there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language, people of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and—
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take—
Agreed.
Everything that's happened.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Why don't we all take some time to think things over before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisa. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds.
Sounds good.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.